Hey, yo, welcome back to the channel. This is Markman Comics. My name is Rob Markman. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting early. We're still in the early stages. We're building, getting the subscribers up, just getting our stories out. I love all the comments, so please comment. Y'all know if y'all comment on any of my videos, I respond to each and every comment. Please like and subscribe if you like what you see. But I love to see people make their dreams come true, right? Like I really get inspired by that. It really makes me happy. I grew up a fan of comics. My first job was at 13 years old. I worked in the comic book store, Brain Damage Comics in Brooklyn. Rest in peace to Carlos Rosario. Shout out to Benny. I watched my best friend since I was about 6 years old. My man Damian Scott. I watched him break into comics, and he's an accomplished artist. I myself have written a handful of comics. Did a 2-page Silver Surfer story for Marvel. I wrote a Flatbush Zombies graphic novel independently. I wrote a 10-page Flash story for DC. Done a couple of other independent works, and I'm like very blessed to do that. And I just get inspired when I see people live out their dreams, especially when they break out of the box, right? When you might come into the game from another direction. And it's just inspiring to see, because none of us are one dimensional, right? So I've been a fan of Comic Tom's channel for a while now. Shout out to Tom Garcia, aka Comic Tom. I watch all of his content every week. If you've never seen it, I hope you've seen it. If you've never seen it though, they break down the hot comics of the week, go through the CGC census. It's kind of like the stock market for comics. Like, what books are rising in value, which books are people overpaying for, what's a good thing to spec on. So really, like, for collectors from a financial perspective, I'm not really that type of collector who of course I value my collection, and I want my collection to rise in value, but I don't like spec on books week after week. I buy books that I want. I buy books that I'm proud to have in my collection. And maybe one day I could pass off to my kids, and they could do with it what they wish, if they wish to sell it or whatever. But all of my books are PC. I rarely do sales, if any. But I just love the content. I love the insight. And I just think it's a really great show. I think he's a really great content creator. And also, I mean, he's a dealer. I've bought from Tom from his website. The first thing I bought from him, he had this really awesome Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, which I love that series. There was this dope foil variant that he had on his site. I bought there. I bought a couple of other things. He had this mosaic kind of puzzle-like cover of the first appearance of Sabretooth, the Iron Fist 14, I believe. And I don't have that original book, and I was like, man, that's a cool looking reprint. I bought that. So every once in a while I see Tom with some cool stuff, I buy it off of his site for sure. Definitely check the content. Met him at New York City Comic-Con at the Whatnot House, at the Hero House. Cool dude, man. And so Tom is a comic fan. He's a dealer. He's a content creator. And every time I watch his videos, he talks briefly about a series that he wrote called Crashdown, him and Fire Guy Ryan. And so I decided to check it out, right? It's only 4 issues. I was like, this is a good entry point. I kind of just like his vibe. I like everything else that he's kind of doing. And he wrote comics. Man, let me check this out. And I knew it'd be different, man. Mostly I'm a superhero guy. And beyond that, mostly a Marvel guy. I do some DC, I do some Image for sure. But I was just curious to see what else is out there. And because I enjoy the content, I enjoy his recommendations and his taste in his videos, I was like, man, maybe I'll enjoy this book. So I copped the 4 issues in one shot, right? Like, boom, Crashdown 1, 2, 3, and 4. A couple of them on the site were autographed. I was like, yeah, why not? I'll get the autographed ones, right? And so, and I read it. I read it in one sitting. I went through issues 1, 2, 3, and 4. The basic premise of the book is Earth is destroyed. I mean, it feels like we're going in that direction anyway, right? I mean, and so a group goes out to colonize another planet that's light years away. And, they use some cryotech to freeze the astronauts, the colonizers, the people who are traveling, so they could, survive the trip, so you could stop the aging process. And I mean, what could go wrong with that, right? Everything goes wrong, right? As the title suggests, there's a crash. There's aliens, as you might imagine, right? I'm not giving any spoilers. This is all stuff you could have guessed. Maybe that cryotech that I talked about a little earlier doesn't work so well, right? There's a bit of a love triangle in this whole thing, and some drama in that. There's some real like gory scenes too. And the book is sci-fi, the book is outer space, the book is horror, in the vein of Aliens, very like Ridley Scott, is the best that I can compare it to. And like I said, mostly what I read is superhero stuff. So that there may be other stuff like this out there. But my frame of reference is like Aliens, Ridley Scott, like sci-fi, outer space, horror, like very much in that vein. And the art is pretty cool too. It's a different. It's just a cool art style. Really, the storytelling is like really clean. It's really kind of easy to read and follow along. And that's thanks to Ben Templesmith, who's the artist on this. I thought the art was good. I thought the coloring was good. It got like a cool style to it. It's published by Whatnot. And it was a cool 4-issue read. Like, and beyond that, it kind of opened me up to more possibilities of indie comic book publishing, and how if you want to create something, you could create it and then you could find your audience. Maybe you're not doing absolute Batman numbers, but you could get with your friends and create something and have it exist in the world. And for me, that was the value in this series, because I have ideas. I have stuff that I want to create too. I have stuff that I'm working on that I've been writing and building up, and figure out where it'll land, right? But for me, that's the value in this series as well. I mean, one, it was a good read. It was a fun read. And then the inspiration that it provides, the ideas that it opens up, the way that it shows us that there's multiple ways to do things. There's different ways to kind of attack this industry and get it in this game if you have a yearning to do so. And then who knows, right? And then the possibilities are endless. You don't know if Crashdown, the IP is out there now, right? So, I mean, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, I don't know if Ryan and Tom want this for themselves, but if there's a Crashdown movie and then all of a sudden, you was on the first floor with it, right? You know what I'm saying? You was at the starting point. Who knows what they'll do with this IP and things of that nature. But, it was just cool. Like I said, they weren't like very expensive books. The what I had to put in, what I got out of it was way more. Again, dope story, dope inspiration. So if you're looking for something new, if you're looking for something cool, like I recommend it. You've been seeing, I've been flashing some of the art across the screen, and I don't want to give any spoilers away. But shout out to Comic Time, shout out to Fire Guy Ryan. They did a dope job. I was super happy with this purchase, man. Crashdown issues 1 through 4. I think they're coming out with a trade paperback as well that might have some extra content. So, if you're interested, check them out. Till the next time, though, be good. Again, leave comments. I answer every single comment, all right? Peace.